If you've ever passed through the North Strand, you might have noticed all the Georgian style buildings and Victorian style buildings. And then as soon as you cross over Newcomen Bridge, the architecture completely changes. Here again on Charleville Mall, you've got this lovely old, I think, Victorian or Edwardian style building, which is the Dublin City Council Library. And if you follow along, you come to this nice row of Georgian buildings. And if you keep going all the way to the end of the row of Georgian buildings, it just comes to an abrupt end and you've got this completely different style of architecture again. Same here on Shamrock Place. You've got this nice row of Victorian or Edwardian cottages. And then when you look across the street, completely different again. Same here on one side of the road near the Five Lamps, you've got a specific style of architecture, and then if you look across to the other side, you've got something similar. But yet, if you pan up, completely different. Same again here on North Great Clarence Street. A nice row of Victorian buildings. And then just comes to an end. So you might be thinking then, what was here before? Why is such a large section of this part of the city different to the others? And it's likely that this was the same as any other part of the surrounding area, lined with Georgian buildings or Victorian buildings. But where did they go? What happened? Well, in this picture, this is actually the scene of a World War II German Luftwaffe bomb, one of 4 that went off here in the North Strand, destroying most of the houses and badly damaging them on both sides of the street. 28 people were killed and over 90 severely injured. The remaining buildings were torn down to make way for the flat complexes that you see here on both sides of the street. And that's why this part of the North Strand just looks so different to the rest of the area.
Well, I remember waking up and being 5-year-old, I had no concept of time or anything like that, just that it was dark.
There was a lot of activity going around. Now, I was in bed at the time, and as I'm coming up, I suppose it was around 12 or after 12, there was a lot of commotion. There was an air raid warnings outside our house, and they were telling people to get in. You could hear the drone of planes.
That's what woke us up initially, was the drone, which I can still hear it. Yeah. It was, and they were very low.
It must have been near 2 o'clock. I was just gone to when I didn't hear a bang, but a shudder.
The house shook.
And there was another explosion and the whole back fell out of the house.
Everybody's home was gone, and belongings and everything.